really hard to actually get a degree at college campuses.
Having a program like this with the technology like this opens the doors of education for a lot of students who would probably never come to college. We are opening the doors for these students to change their lives, which also opens the doors for the communities to change their economic sustainability. Faculty have adapted to this different way of distance delivery. It's engaging, it's interactive.
The Cisco system really provided that opportunity for our kids. For instance, with Roger, I think his experience, at one point he said, I'm not going to college, I was just going to get a job, but now he's really eager. He is more confident now. He is ready to move on to the next level of his education.
Your meeting is about to start. Press the call button when you are ready to join.
Let's get started. I think you're going to go over the third quarter numbers. Let's go over those numbers. I know, right? Yeah, I saw that presentation too. Amazing. Yes, I have them right in front of me. Oh, I'm in a meeting. We'll catch up in a minute. Okay. Right. All right, bye. Okay, bye. Play my Monday afternoon playlist.
My name's Anne Aswett. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Elton John AIDS Foundation. We're a global AIDS charity which was founded by Elton John 29 years ago. Normally we run a physical event for up to approximately 900 people in a huge marquee in West Hollywood. This year, because of COVID, we took the whole event online. We produced an hour's worth of amazing content, and all of this was watched virtually by thousands of people around the world via Webex. And the great thing about working with Webex is wherever you were in the world, you could watch it at a time that was convenient for you, and I think that really made a big difference. We didn't have one single person who had any problem logging in or watching the show at all. And the fact that we could do that for up to 100,000 people at any one time was a big draw, for sure.
Okay, these ones are busy. Yeah, this one. Okay, Webex, could you turn the temperature down 3 degrees, please? Christina is here with me this morning.
What do you think?
Great. So in this meeting, Okay, Webex, could you extend the meeting by 20 minutes, please? I'm really just going to cable out now, so see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Hello, my name is Miriam Taylor. I'm the founder of the Black Excellence Global Movement created in November 2019, and which is a network of excellence advocating towards Black union representation and empowerment. Due to the reality of COVID-19, we have been forced to stop our physical networking events and move them online. And this is how in 2020, we have initiated a new format, the Black Excellence Talk series, which is a TV show now in its second series, And in fact, we have just finished recording 10 brand new episodes with different personalities from all four corners of the world, bringing important discussion topics such as literature, media, psychology, AI, the lack of inclusion in tech, and more. I'm here today to share why we chose Cisco Webex to be our partner in this important journey. We all know that there are several options to provide technology nowadays, but we wanted to partner with Cisco Webex since we do share the same values. Cisco Webex is starting with the people and their experiences. They focus on delivering an inclusive collaboration experience, fueling innovation. And well, this fits with my mission, bringing light and giving power to all the talented Black voices in the world. Having Cisco has been critical and highly important to supporting us on this mission. So please do go to RTP Television website and watch our show.
Talent is equally spread around the world. No matter where you are, young people are talented. What is missing is access to education and opportunities. Burkina Faso is in the heart of Africa. It's a landlocked country. The number of young people is quite high, very high. So it means education is needed, especially high education or access to high education is missing.
The students love working with Webex, a video conference system which enables us to bring this world-class knowledge to the students, to Burkina. At the moment we have 107 students, and in 10 years we will be 1,000. Big challenge, but I think a big impact. For us, the internet, especially video conferencing with the Webex, is very important because it's the modern way of teaching.
The way to be remoted and then to be able to attend our class via video conference, it is an enormous win for these young people.
So the idea behind is that we want to help the people and the students to develop some entrepreneurial ideas. So when they finish university, they're not going to any state deployment, but can build up an own enterprise.
We are looking for talents worldwide. So we don't want to get the good people out of Africa. No, we want to educate them where they are and really help them to build sustainable products.
If you want to inspire, you have to create an example. And the building is meant to be itself an example. It is the mark of the future. It's full of young people. And if we give opportunities to these young people, then the world will benefit from their creativity. For sure. The next Bill Gates, the next Tesla, I'm totally convinced is coming from Africa.
Our world is a big place, full of choices. We are in hospitality and vacation business. We communicate with the customer before, when they are in an apartment, and after. We have a Webex Devices where the people can interact with us, just touch the screen and start to speak. From the directory within Webex, we can send to them a picture, we can send a file, we can send an invitation to a specific event.
The language detection is important because we have an international market. Our contact centers are able to deliver the best proposal to the customer.
It's important the customer routing to the right representative. For that reason, we use Webex calling. We are radically changing the way we live and the way we interact with technology. But we don't need to speak with technology. We need to speak with humans.
Okay, class, today we're going to talk about icebergs. Has anyone ever heard the saying, the tip of the iceberg? And do you know where that saying comes from? Hold on a second. Brr, it's cold in here. This is an iceberg. It's a large piece of ice that was once part of an even larger ice block called a glacier. 90% is below sea level, making it invisible to our eyes. Below the water, some of the largest land masses on the planet just inching along.
We strive to push harder, to go faster, to break records, because we ride to win. And while we ride solo, we thrive as a team, working tirelessly around the clock to achieve our dreams. Whatever the challenge, wherever the challenge, Cisco Webex keeps us united. Communicating, collaborating, celebrating. To be the best, you have to rely on the best. Our team relies on Webex. What about yours? Cisco Webex, official partner of Team DSM.
So you've been having some issues with your wrist? It could be carpal tunnel, but for the moment, let's work you through some stretches. Remember that nursery rhyme, Itsy Bitsy Spider? Turns out it's a great stretch for your hands. Start with your hands together in a prayer position. Good. Now spread your fingers apart as far as you can. Then steeple the fingers by separating the palms of the hands but keeping your fingers together. This stretches the palmar fascia, carpal tunnel structures, and the median nerve, the nerve that gets irritated in carpal tunnel syndrome.
We get it. Work isn't just an in-the-office from 9 to 5 kind of thing anymore.
Yes, I'm headed up to the office right now.
Which is why we built the Webex app to work on your terms.
Well, what do you think? Just a quick palette swap. Yes. We're good to go. Yes. Oh, that would be so great.
Go from calling, to messaging, to meeting, without missing a beat. Real-time translation so everyone can understand. Live polling to give everyone a voice. And personal insights to keep your work-life balance in check. Now that's work that works for you.
A singular focus on human connection. These are Webex devices. Intelligent, immersive, inclusive. They're designed and built to allow people to connect and ideas to thrive regardless of distance. Wherever you need to work, from the field to whatever you call your office. Webex devices are the window to seamless collaboration. They help create workspaces that inspire and enable hybrid work for thousands of organizations around the world. Making connections smarter, more productive, more responsive, more in sync, more intuitive, and altogether more present. We design our devices to work how you work, so you can more easily connect, share, innovate, and achieve. Webex by Cisco.
Your stage is set. You're ready to perform. And with technology that can match your magnitude, you're unstoppable. Meetings in Webex lets you share content while staying in the spotlight. Break out into smaller groups to get even more done. And keep your team engaged with gesture recognition. Make sure everyone can follow along. And everyone's included.
Everyone, let's get those votes in. Is everyone voting? Oh, I know what Fido wants. Treats.
Okay, maybe not everyone. That's work that works for you.
Elevate your home or office with the Webex Desk Camera. Get up to 4K Ultra HD resolution with the power of AI built in. And picture-perfect clarity that adjusts to your settings day or night. Make your best impression every time with the Webex Desk Camera.
On days like today, you've got to keep up. And you need tools that can keep up too. Messaging in Webex lets you stay organized in a single app, so you can prioritize what's most important. Invite people inside and outside your organization. jump into meetings at a moment's notice.
Jumping on before my flight.
And even when it's time to go, Webex keeps things moving so you'll never miss a beat. That's work that works for you.
Upgrade your workplace with the Webex Desk Hub. It's hot desking for a new way of working. Sync your calendar, take meetings, and stay on top of the to-do list with touchless, voice-activated commands. Stay connected and get more done with the Webex Desk Hub.
Humans. Yeah, we're great and all, but we can be, well, pretty human too. My bad. Mishaps happen, and they can happen at any time, like in a really important business meeting. Data loss prevention lets you monitor all content passing through Webex, whether it's spoken, shared, or shown. Track and flag content. Monitor and control employee compliance. Block or remove sensitive information to prevent it from being shared out. Secure data and prevent security breaches. Stay compliant, be human. Data loss prevention for meetings and messaging. Only on Webex.
Expand the capability of your home or office with the Webex Desk. A 24-inch touchscreen that's more than a video endpoint. It's an all-in-one device for meeting, co-creating, and getting work done. With powerful AI features like Webex Assistant, facial recognition, noise removal, collaborative whiteboarding, and virtual backgrounds. The future workplace now lives in any space with the Webex Desk.
Remember how we used to work? You know, last year? Work is now so much better. Ooh, coffee. Securely meet with thousands of colleagues. Hey everyone, be with you in a minute. And break out into smaller sessions. Webex is creating better experiences, better workflows, and better ways to collaborate. Let's go with the Mahogany. Mahogany's better. Tools that record, transcribe, and take meeting notes for you. Technology that translates into more than 100 languages as you speak. With features for greater efficiencies that help everyone participate. And everything you need, all in one place. Everything is better with Webex.
What if you could go to the noisiest place in the world and still be heard?
是这个意思。Have that ready for you by tomorrow morning.
That sounds great.
Background noise removal and speech enhancement from the all-new Webex.
Built tough for on-call work styles, the Webex wireless phone. Chemical resistant, waterproof, and dust-proof options for whatever work throws at you. Secure voice, video, and text conversations every time. And equipped with the apps you need to get the job done. Stay connected with the Webex wireless phone.
Oh, looks like everyone's here. And now everyone can understand me. Okay, welcome to our first ever global sales meeting. Looks like the team in Paris is on the line, the team in Beijing, oh, our team in Dubai, and of course everyone else. Okay, so let's jump in.
We're heading back to the office, and work won't be the same. The age of hybrid work is here. From home to the office and everywhere in between. Work is happening where we are. Work where you want. Finding a space is easy. Just set down your phone and voila! Your meetings, contacts, and calendar are a touch away. Need a meeting room? Book on the fly and you're in, without touching a thing. Collaboration is easy. You can use whiteboarding and annotation to capture, share, and store ideas as they happen with the apps you already use.
Could you turn the temperature down 3 degrees, please?
Webex rooms are smart, monitoring the environment, checking air quality, temperature, and noise levels, so you can optimize the space for comfort and safety. These rooms can even alert you if the room gets too crowded. You can also monitor the capacity of an entire building. Intelligent cameras monitor foot traffic in and out of the building, keeping a running count of how many people are in the space and where they are. The location of individual workers is monitored, so you can make sure your preset safety and environmental thresholds are maintained throughout your building. Location data from intelligent cameras and Wi-Fi access points are aggregated, giving you in-the-moment insights on your traffic flow and staff density across your entire working space. Need to get on the road? Seamlessly move any meeting to your phone and get going. Working from home? You have access to the same groundbreaking AI your colleagues have at the office that automatically takes notes, captures action items, and provides real-time transcription and language translation. Bring everything together with an instant office designed to deliver high-fidelity collaboration while reducing video fatigue. Make distractions a thing of the past with automatic noise removal, speech enhancement, and background replacement, so the focus stays where it should be, on the meeting. Sometimes words aren't enough. Now the entire team can participate with nonverbal cues and polling. And modern cloud calling enables you to bring the office phone with you and answer on any device. Webex makes it easy to maintain all aspects of the hybrid workplace in one place. Identify trends and pinpoint any challenges, no matter if employees are working from home or the office. Troubleshoot issues in real time. Monitor and set parameters remotely to make sure each device and space is optimized for their situation. And with the World Map View, get up-to-the-moment system health reports on everything. Webex products are built with end-to-end encryption, so the only people accessing your essential data are the people who are meant to. So let's get to work. From home, the office, and everywhere in between. The world is your workplace, and it runs on Webex.
Going to work shouldn't be work. It should flow from one idea to the next. This is the Webex Desk Pro, an all-in-one system built for you. We set out to create an experience, something more personal and intuitive. With end-to-end encryption and AI-powered content leakage mitigation, you can be confident that every interaction is secure and private. This is the most advanced AI-powered collaboration device available today, the Webex Desk Pro.
Hey, welcome everyone to a special event, Hybrid Work Made Real. We're so thrilled to have tens of thousands of you choose to spend your precious and valuable time with us. And we've got so much in store for you today. But we figured, what better way to start this event than a conversation with our chairman and CEO, Chuck Robbins, who's going to talk to us about macro trends, culture, people, and so much more. Let's take a look. Chuck, how are you?
I'm doing great, G2. The best thing about this discussion is we're actually sitting together. As much as we love the technology, we're sitting in the same room.
That's a rare event. That doesn't happen that frequently, so I'm cherishing this right now.
Well, it hasn't been, but I think it's good news for us, hopefully, that we're trying to get to the other side here, and we're looking forward to it.
Indeed. But the past year has completely changed everything, as you know, and you've talked about it quite a bit. What are our customers telling you about hybrid work?
Well, first of all, I think everyone has come to the conclusion that we are going to be operating in a model where you'll have some employees that'll work from home all the time, small percentage that'll work in the office all the time, but the majority of the employees, they want the hybrid experience. They want to work from home some, work in the office some. And I think what that results in now is every customer is trying to figure out what does that mean to my technology footprint, my architecture, how I build it, and particularly like with meetings, right? Because every meeting is going to have a remote participant. And
so 98% of them, according to studies we've done.
At least 98%. Yeah. And thinking about how you create an environment where everyone feels equally included in those sessions is something everyone's trying to figure out, as well as safety of return to work. How do we deal with all these dynamics? And in some cases, they're thinking through like policy around when people come in and all that. So it's pretty complicated right now.
Yeah.
But it's pretty consistent.
And I think it is going to be harder with this mixed mode than being in exclusive, being in the office or being at home.
I think that's right. And the irony is as we've experienced recently, in pre-pandemic times, if you were the remote person, you were typically at a disadvantage in the meeting. You didn't feel like you were really a part of the
Feeling
meeting
left out.
because everybody in the room is there. And now on the occasion where you have 2 or 3 people in a conference room and the other 8 or 10 are at their homes, the conference room actually feels that way because they get relegated to the same size block that everybody else is in. So there's a lot of work that I know you guys are doing to actually sort of navigate that and create a more inclusive and equal kind of feeling for every participant, regardless of where they are, which is, I think,
We've got a way to solve that
the right
problem.
thing.
Yep.
It's the right thing to do.
Now, you've publicly spoken about the fact that there's been times when people had asked you a couple of years ago, why are you in the collaboration business? And if you think about it today, there's very few that probably ask you that question. But why is this strategic for us at Cisco, at the Cisco level?
First of all, it's a great business. It is aligned to the business model transition we've been trying to do from a SaaS perspective. But more importantly, it is incredibly important to our customers. It was important before the pandemic, and now it's more important than we ever dreamed it could be. And so how their employees stay productive in this new world, how they communicate effectively with customers, because their customers now are actually going to accept this type of communication and in many cases expect it. And whereas before, it might not have been that way. And I think that, so it's really important. It's also an area inside our customer where our brand shows up in front of the user, right? So that's an important thing for us from a branding perspective. And then obviously looking at what our customers need from an architectural perspective with calling integrated with meetings and conferencing, as well as contact center, that's just the customer experience.
It's pretty rich.
And the employee experience is so important going forward. And so I think it's so much more important than it was even 2 years ago.
I was thinking about this, Chuck. I think you and I have met today for the 5th time in person. I've been here for 10 months, so once every 2 months.
That much?
I know, exactly. But I consider you a friend at this point. And it's been, we barely met in person, and that's the power of this technology as you think about it.
It is the power of the technology, and the fact that everyone went to this mode made it the normal communication mode. So if it was an exception that we were meeting over video when I was meeting with everyone else face to face, I think it wouldn't have felt as natural. But since everyone was doing it and you were doing this for every meeting, it just felt very natural.
That's right.
You know, you came to us this way. We also hired a new CFO over video as well. So it proves that we can do virtually anything, including delivering healthcare and education and everything else over this technology.
Which is so exciting when you start opening up the possibility. But now it's no secret it's a competitive market.
Yes.
And we've got a fair number of skeptics as well. So what would you say to the skeptics about Webex?
First of all, I'd probably acknowledge that 2 years ago their skepticism was probably well-founded. We needed to do some work, and I think you and the team have done an incredible job. The feature velocity and the focus on the user experience has been incredible. If you think about when we built this product, first of all, it was an on-prem platform that was built originally, and we built it with deep enterprise security. You know, that was front and center for us. And if you're going to build a product that is all about user experience, then you tend not to think about security as much on the front end. So what you guys have done a masterful job of is getting the user experience to an incredible place. I think it's the best in the business today.
The best.
The features that you have now are the best in the industry today. And you still get that enterprise class security, and you get the architecture that brings you, integrates calling and integrates contact center, et cetera. So I think a lot of customers now have said, you know what, we made a pandemic decision. And now, as we come out of the pandemic, we need to make a long-term strategic architectural decision. And so I would just encourage everybody to take a look, because you guys have done some amazing things.
Thank you. I think the team's done a fantastic job. So what surprised you the most about the past year when you really think about this macro environment, the new way of working, and what do you think is going to stay versus
I think the resilience of the technology, first of all. I mean, if you think about both the fundamental internet and the carrier networks all around the world, as well as Webex platform and others, they were never designed with the last 18 months in mind, but it held up. It held up. And then you move to the productivity discussion that employees could be productive, but I think that was balanced or counteracted with some of the stress that it introduced for certain people with being in the environment that we were stuck in. But I think the other was that you can deliver education, you can deliver healthcare. It also highlighted, you know, digital divide, where the students who were at home who didn't have broadband, didn't have laptops, it highlighted that for us. And so what I think is, hopefully it will give us the impetus to go solve those kinds of problems. And it also, I think, the natural ability to communicate this way or that way over video will stay with us, and people will accept it. I'll do more meetings that way than in the past I would have flown all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that what I hope stays with us too is the understanding that some of the biggest challenges we face in the world, we can begin to address them by using this technology. If you think about, if we get broadband connectivity into rural areas and underserved areas, we can deliver education, we can deliver some aspect of healthcare, and now we know that we can actually create jobs for people in those communities where they don't have to relocate to major metropolitan areas. Right. And so there's an awful lot we learned that we can take forward and use in solving some of the challenges that we face in the country and frankly in the world.
And Chuck, I always tell people, I was an immigrant, as you know, many years ago over here. And if I hadn't immigrated to America at the time, I would have probably not had the opportunity and access to opportunity that I've been fortunate to have. And I'd like for the next generation to not have that be a restraint and a constraint. So it's such a privilege to actually be able to level the playing field if we can do that. So it's a bold ambition, but I think it gets started with what you've done with the company, which is the mission statement of the company is to power an inclusive future for all. And how do you see the technologies and what expectations do you have from all of us from a technology perspective to make sure that we are not just having that as an empty mission statement, but something that translates into investments in technology that we are delivering to the market?
You know, we wanted it to have substance and not just be some tagline, because hollow taglines actually have the opposite effect. They actually make people more skeptical about what you really care about. And so if you don't live it and you don't execute against it, then I think it actually does you harm. But when we first came out with it, it was about what I was just talking about. Our technology connects people at the most basic level and provides them opportunity to participate in the global economy. And now we can deliver education. We know that already. We deliver healthcare. We know that now. And then we have our community service. Our corporate social responsibility, our community services work has always been in this space. So you combine the technology of connectivity and providing opportunity with what we believe in our communities, and I think we live this every day. And then working with you and your team and thinking about the inclusive recovery and the need to drive inclusiveness through the technology as we bring people back together, even in areas like we're sitting now for those employees. Creating the features and the thinking that you're doing right now around leveraging the platform to actually further inclusion, it's very powerful. So it's even expanded since we originally came up with it. But I'm really proud of the team and really proud of that as our purpose.
They've done an amazing job. And the way we think about it is the core product identity is around inclusivity. So everything that we build should actually further the cause of inclusivity. So last question that the team's asked me to ask you. I know you've traveled a bit already, but what is your favorite place that you want to travel to once this ban lifts up?
Everywhere. But I will say, last year when New York was at such a difficult spot, I said, the place I want to go is New York, because I know when I'm back in New York, we're going to be well down the path of having this thing behind us. And I'm actually going to New York next week. And now I'd probably say India for the same reason. I joked with many of our customers in India over video before this second wave hit again. I told them that I've never been so excited about getting on a plane for 22 hours as I would be to go visit India right now. So I think now it's turned into, I want to go to India because I know that country will be in a much better place when that opportunity arises. And I think that's really important. It's such a sad situation.
It is, and our heart goes out to all the folks in India. Chuck, I know that I speak for you and I say that we're honored that the audience is here with us today.
Absolutely.
And we're so excited for all the innovation that we're doing. And I'm hoping that, I always tell people, this is the fastest we've seen Webex innovate. In the past 15 years.
That's right.
And it's the slowest you'll see the innovation rate in the next 4 years, because we are going to go even faster than now. So
it makes your team very nervous, but I like to hear that.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to work with you every day, and we're excited to keep making sure that we can further your mission. Next, I'd like to introduce you to a very special guest, our Chief People, Policy, and Purpose Officer for Cisco, Fran Katsoukas.
Hey, G2.
Fran,
hey,
how are you? Is this the awkward hello these days?
Yes, it is. Hello.
I don't think people know this, but you and I think, are very close friends at this point.
We are, yes.
But we've only met each other physically. This is the second time.
This is the second time in 10 months.
It's crazy. So when are we going to be able to hug each other?
We're getting close.
Yes. So Fran, I'd love for you to share some of your insights around what the past 15 months have looked like and what the future holds for us. So take it away.
Thank you, Jitu. You know, as I reflect on the past year, my mind immediately goes to our challenges our people had to confront and how they had to adapt. And it wasn't the transition to remote work that was the greatest challenge. That actually wasn't so hard for us at Cisco. We've always had a majority of employees working remote at least one day a week. The greater challenge was missing face-to-face interaction, missing travel, missing hugs, missing human connection. It was hard to lose choice in how we wanted to work. And balancing our calendars got a lot harder as there wasn't a natural break at the end of the day anymore. We learned our commutes meant something more than just getting from point A to point B. Something I've been thinking about is the difference between remote and hybrid. Remote feels distant. It feels separate. Remote has walls, both physical and virtual, keeping us apart, making people feel at times like an outsider. Remote is not hybrid. Hybrid brings down the walls that kept us feeling distant and apart in the remote world. Hybrid is driven by inclusion and connection, and the realization that empathy is a superpower. Hybrid is thoughtful and deliberate. In this moment, companies are thinking about their people and teams and how they work. And we have the opportunity to define the hybrid world the way we want it. A world of work where people come first, where every voice is heard, where nobody feels like an outsider, no matter where they are. Because what we know at Cisco is that work is not a place you go, it's what you do. By marrying the power of our Webex technology with the use of our physical space, we can create a seamless collaborative experience. In a hybrid world, 98% of meetings will include participants who are not in the room. Our People, Policy, and Purpose organization, which includes both workplace resources and our team forming our hybrid work philosophy, is bringing together all of the elements necessary to set ourselves up for innovation and success. By embedding our goals for inclusive collaboration across the organization, we can tear down the walls, both virtual and physical, that could inhibit collaboration and connection. We know this inclusive culture will be the backbone of success, and we know that when we get teams right, we win. We started rethinking our approach to this a few years ago with a mindset that matched one of our beliefs at Cisco, that digital must humanize the enterprise. We knew the traditional org chart was static and didn't accurately represent how we did our best work. We knew our best work was being done dynamically across teams and functions, but we couldn't see it. Enter our intelligent human network and people insights. This analysis goes beyond the traditional organization model to understand how work is really done. It shows how teams collaborate with each other and how leaders work together and with their teams. And the secret sauce? Understanding the best collaboration patterns and traits. This visual behind me is actually my organization and how we work together. I can see where teams are collaborating closely, how specific teams or communities are included and integrated into the organization. And conversely, I can also see where teams aren't as connected and aligned. And I could actually go even further and map out my own personal collaboration practices. Our belief in this work is so strong that we're going even further, taking a neuroscientific approach to identify the essential ingredients to design collaborative, empathic experiences, and we're excited to see where this journey takes us. By creating a window into how work is done and how time is spent, we can help our people work smarter, improve personal well-being, and promote a more inclusive work experience for all. This is People Insights for Webex, which you'll hear more about from Aruna. It allows individuals and teams to set and achieve goals for their meetings, their work-life integration, connections, and manage their most precious asset, their time. The last year has demonstrated all too well the risk of burnout and the need for all of us to focus on our personal well-being. When we do this right, technology truly can help humanize the enterprise. in this moment, we have an incredible opportunity to reshape the future of work, to be one that is focused on human potential and the power of collaboration. For so long, we hired for roles, not for people. We segmented out our lives, taking on and off our hats of employee, parent, friend, or any other identity, depending on what we were doing. The last year has shown us that it's okay to wear all these hats at once, that we can bring all of ourselves to work and support one another in all of these roles, and that we are better for it. This is how Cisco will move to a hybrid world, by embracing the entirety of human potential and turning it into action. Because by enabling our people to bring their whole selves to work every day, we know we can achieve more together, no matter where we are.
Thank you, Fran, for that really insightful perspective.
Thank you, G2, and I'm going to see you with Arianna in a little bit.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Now, let's switch to our strategy. As many of you already know, our mission at Cisco is to power an inclusive future for all. And by all, we mean the 3 billion digital workers on the planet, 1 billion of whom are knowledge workers, 2 billion are frontline and field workers, in being afforded an opportunity to equally participate in the global economy. Look, opportunity is pretty unevenly distributed in the market, but human potential is not. And we believe technology can level the playing field, and that's what gets us really excited about coming to work every single day. Now, we've been pursuing this mission pretty hard for the past year, and just since September, we've had some massive innovation around capabilities in the product that have fundamentally changed and improved the experience that people have with the product. We wanted to make sure that the experience was immersive, it was delightful, and people loved using the product so that they can talk to their friends and family about it. Now, back in March at Cisco Live, we announced that we had over 400 capabilities that we added to the product. You know, if you look at the past 15 years of Webex's history, this is the fastest we've ever innovated. And we believe that we're going to go even faster as we move forward. And these 400 innovations all enhanced the experience and allowed organizations to be more secure. I'm delighted to announce to you today that that number has doubled since March, and we now have over and making sure that people can use a product that just works. But it's not just the organic innovation that we've done around user experience or security. What we also found was there were certain really meaningful innovations in the market that we felt we needed to have in the portfolio. And over the course of the past 10 months, we've acquired 4 very strategic companies to add to our portfolio. One with Babel Labs around sound and acoustics engineering, one with IMI Mobile around omni-channel communication. The third was Slido, which is one of the most amazing ways to engage an audience in interacting in a meeting, no matter how large the audience is. And fourth was our recent announcement for an intent to acquire Socio, so that we can fundamentally reimagine events to be more hybrid in nature. Not just physical, not just virtual, but a combination of both of them. And this fusion of organic innovation along with capabilities that we've acquired from the market that in a very short amount of time have been integrated into the product in a seamless manner so that hundreds of millions of people can use our capabilities was something that's really allowed us to serve customers of any size, any geography, and any industry. For example, if you take a look at Under Armour, which is a top apparel manufacturer in sportswear, or you take someone like T-Mobile that has really provided an amazing experience around connectivity, or you take a company like McLaren, who is obsessed about precision and performance in racing. All of these companies have used Webex in ways to transform their business that none of them would have thought possible just a few years ago. Now, While this has been great, there's a question that we always get from our customers, which is, what does the future of work actually look like? And we believe the future of work is definitively going to be hybrid. Sometimes people are going to work from home. Other times, they're going to exercise their choice to go into the office. And sometimes it's going to be somewhere in between. Now, in studies that we've done, we found that 77% of employees will exercise a flexible work pattern. And as they're exercising this flexible work pattern, it's important to take a step back and reflect on what is hybrid work going to look like and how is it going to be different. Frankly, I got news for you. Hybrid work is going to be harder to adjust to than everyone working in the office or everyone working at home, because there are nuances we're all going to need to adjust to. Let me give you a couple examples. If you look in the pre-COVID era, about 8% of the meetings had at least one participant that was not physically with everyone, what we called a remote participant. As you move forward, 98% of the meetings will have at least one participant that won't be in the same physical space as everyone else. Think about what that does to the assumption of how you configure conference rooms. Conference rooms in the past were optimized for the people and the experience of those folks in the room. In the future, not only will we need to optimize for experiences of the people in the room, we'll also need to make sure that we keep in mind the experiences of the people that are not in the room that are going to participate in that meeting, because 98% of the meetings will have at least one person that won't be in the room. Now, if you think about how you gauge well-being for our coworkers and our employees, in the all-physical world, the proximity and the visual cues made it relatively intuitive for us to tell when someone wasn't feeling at their best. As you move into the hybrid world, we'll have to be far more proactive in engaging with people to gauge whether or not they're feeling fatigued, or they're feeling burned out, or they're feeling tired, and they just need some support. So all of these dimensions are going to require that we have a different set of metrics for success than what we might have had before, in how people engage with each other, how productive they are, so on and so forth. And the question that often gets asked is, what does success look like in the future? Now, all of you have given us some great input in studies that we've done around what your expectations of success will be for a hybrid work solution that just works. And what you gave us was 5 essential characteristics that are going to be really important to keep in mind. The first, flexibility. The second, inclusivity. The third, being supportive. Fourth, secure. And fifth, was effectively managed as a system. Let's dig into each one of them. What you told us about flexibility was that there's going to be a range of different work styles, roles, and environments that people are going to have to operate in. And the system is going to need to be smart enough and sophisticated enough to accommodate for those environments. But it's not just about the flexibility. It's also about making sure that everyone feels that they have an equal seat at the table and that they have an equal experience. No one feels left out. No one feels like a second-class participant in a meeting. The third area that you talked to us about was this whole notion of making sure that we can extend our support to our coworkers. Empathy, as Fran says, is a superpower. And well-being is the other side of the coin of productivity. In fact, it's impossible to have sustained productivity if you ignore well-being. Fourth thing that's been really important for organizations is around this notion of protecting the organization, protecting the users, and protecting the data, where security is built by design from the ground up, not something that was bolted on as an afterthought. You also have talked to us about privacy being a basic human right that needs to be honored. The way we think about this is secure by design and private by default. And lastly, the experience that end users that are using these products have is extremely important. In fact, that has been one of the things that's been very, very catered to over the course of the past year, and we need to make sure that keeps getting better and better and better. But the unsung heroes of the past year have also been the IT professionals who've allowed our companies to keep running. And the experience that they have is also very important to modernize and to take out the friction from. So these 5 essential characteristics are what you told us was really important. And while I might be biased, I believe Cisco is in the best position and has the most comprehensive solution for a hybrid pattern of work. So it starts with a strategy with Webex that's around an application suite that's comprehensive, has capabilities around calling, messaging, meetings, and much, much more. And all of this rich functionality that we have, that we continue to keep adding to, should also be made available through APIs and SDKs in a platform so that that platform can interoperate with other applications. Because the goal over here is, regardless of the application that you as a user are using, you should be able to integrate seamlessly with Webex, whether inside the Webex experience or bidirectionally, where Webex can be embedded into those applications so that you don't break your workflow. Now, all of these core capabilities will also be used in the platform to build specialized experiences for very specific personas, whether it be your contact center agent, whether it be your marketing event coordinator, whether it be an HR professional, an IT professional, so on and so forth. And our partner ecosystem will also use these APIs to build custom applications in certain vertical industries, whether it be healthcare and telehealth, or education or government, and on and on and on. And we want to make sure that these experiences manifest beautifully in the devices that we provide for in rooms and within offices, on your desk, as well as in the home office, but also integrate seamlessly with Apple, Microsoft, and Google with the devices that they provide, where the application feels like an extension of the operating system. Now, all of this sophisticated capability will sit on an artificial intelligence framework, where there's going to be a core fabric of AI capability that we have been very fortunate to acquire over the course of the past couple of years and develop and build over the past couple of years. We've spent over $1 billion in making sure that we have a very robust AI stack. And now you're starting to see some of those sophisticated capabilities come to fruition, whether it be noise removal, whether it be gesture recognition, language translation, and much, much more. And finally, we want to make sure that all of this robust capability is surrounded with security, privacy, and compliance. That is our strategy. This is a strategy that we unveiled back in December at Webex One, and we wanted to make sure that we provided a proof point that was a substantive proof point of the execution of the strategy. And so we introduced our unified application, which provided an integrated experience for calling, messaging, meetings, and much, much more. And the feedback from all of you has been great. Today, we have an equally important announcement as we did back in December, which is the introduction of the Webex Suite. This is an offer where a single license will afford you the availability of calling, messaging, meetings, but also polling and Q&A, as well as events that you can buy together as a single license. This is the industry's first best-of-breed hybrid work suite. Now, what do I mean by best-of-breed hybrid work suite? Well, in the past, when you have these kind of commercial offers, what typically happened was they were optimized for just making sure that there was good discounting of the offer. What it wasn't optimized for was making sure that the components work well together and are completely fluidly integrated, and that every component is a best-of-breed component where you're not just optimizing for the lowest common denominator of something that's good enough because you wanted something that actually integrated. We didn't want that to be the case with our Webex Suite. So yes, you will have a very seductive commercial offer that you can't ignore, but you will also have a fully integrated suite with best-of-breed components that are best in class in the industry, and each one of these components could be a company in and of itself, but they're completely integrated. And so that is our commitment to you as you think about transforming into the hybrid work future by delivering to you a fully integrated Webex Suite for hybrid work. But there's one more thing. We also wanted to make sure that as we move to this hybrid work world, that our core value around inclusivity was embodied in our brand, because our brand reflects our purpose. And that the brand should also embody specifically our obsession around simplicity, elegance in design, and ease of use that we're so obsessed about in building amazing experiences that people love. And so, regardless of the medium that you engage with us in, whether it be through a product, whether it be through a website, whether it be through just looking at a presentation, we wanted to make sure that our brand reflected those values. And we completely have taken the time to refresh our brand so that you will see that in every element of who we are and what we stand for. Now, the marketing team, along with design, has done a fantastic job of creating a video that I'd like to show you that talks to you a little bit about the purpose of the brand. Let's take a look.
Today, we have an opportunity to reinvent the way the world works. An opportunity to put inclusivity at the heart of everything we do. From the very function and nature of our products, all the way to the brand the world sees. An all-new brand for Webex.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rethink the way the world works together and with Webex.
Vibrancy and contrast create harmony and bring focus to work. A color palette that's rich and expressive, opening infinite opportunities for personalization.
Our images reflect a global population, all ages, environments, and working styles.
Illustration, iconography, and typography convey energy and excitement. Motion that has empathy and the flow of human collaboration.
It all works together seamlessly to create a connected experience.
The W. It's a rotating helix made of two round equal forms that come together. For us, this represents a harmonious flow of ideas that happen when people come together as equals.
This is the all-new Webex.
You know, we're so excited to be a small part of your journey in this transformation to hybrid work. Now, to talk more about our product and all the innovations that the team's been busy with, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Javed Khan, our SVP and GM of the Collaboration Business Unit.
Thank you, Jeetu. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be here with you for this exciting event. This is a big day for all of us. Jeetu just unveiled the new Webex Suite, the only solution you need for hybrid work. And I'm so excited to show you how the new Webex Suite is making hybrid work real for you, our customers. Now, during the pandemic, many people had to take shortcuts and make choices that were, good enough for remote work at that time. But this meant many of you had to compromise. But why should your teams have to settle? At Webex, we never settle for good enough or secure enough. The new Webex Suite is packed with best-of-breed capabilities. But the suite is about so much more than meetings. It's built on a platform that is used by more than 650 million participants every month It has business calling that already supports 6 billion calls a month, and world-class audience engagement that's used by 70 million participants, and a comprehensive events platform supporting 125 million attendees and counting. And it's all powered by our world-class artificial intelligence, an area where we've invested more than $1 billion in the last few years. Now, with team members spread across time zones and countries, working at different hours, speaking different languages, with different needs, we need collaboration tools that are not only flexible, but that adapt to individual and team working styles. The Webex Suite solves for this. Now, for someone like me, who does a lot of business on the go, being able to confidently connect from anywhere on any device, whether I'm at home, in my car, or at my desk, has been a true game changer. The Webex app gives me the flexibility to work the way that fits my style, and it includes powerful features like transcription, noise removal, messaging, gesture recognition, and much, much more. Now, these are just a few of the cool features we've launched since December, but the team just keeps on innovating. Take, for instance, video meeting layouts. Now, let's be honest, the 5x5 grid layout that we all came to know and love is so 2020. But with our new Webex custom layouts, you get the flexibility to personalize your meeting layouts to the view that suits you the best. Let's take a look. So here we have the familiar grid view. In this grid view example, we can zoom in from the standard 5x5 layout all the way down to a 2x2 layout to focus on a smaller number of participants. Webex also provides other layout options like stack and side-by-side view. The stack view gives us a larger image of the active speaker with a film strip at the top, and this can be resized or even removed just to show the active speaker. A participant is now sharing content. The host is going to create a view that they want all other participants in the meetings to see. So they can simply drag and drop participants from the film strip into the stage, and then they can sync that view to all participants. We are now looking at what the meeting participants see. And the host can also change the layout in real time. So we can remove Ken and add Andrea to the stage. And switching back to the participant view, we now see that Ken is replaced with Andrea. You know, I love the flexibility of these new custom layouts. They truly do make for more engaging, dynamic, and impactful meetings. One thing we learned in the last year is that keeping audiences engaged in virtual meetings can be a real challenge. We also learned that engagement gets work done. One of the biggest additions to the Webex Suite, Slido, solves for that with interactive features like word clouds, Q&A, polls, all live in real time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Slido is now integrated into Webex meetings, facilitating interaction and inclusion from the meeting participants in different kinds of polls, surveys, and Q&A panels. We are also able to see the results of polls created before the meeting within the meeting itself. Now, being able to ask questions is key to engaging participants in a meeting and to ensure their understanding of the content. And here we see a participant asking a question and other participants being able to upvote that question, increasing the likelihood of that question being answered. Now, the host can also create polls live in meetings. They are able to choose between various types of polls, rankings, ratings, word clouds, and even a quiz. This enables meetings to be productive and have a little bit of fun at the same time. In this example, the host created a multiple choice poll to gather feedback on how well the meeting was going. This poll ensures that everyone who is participating in the meeting has a chance to have their voice heard, and everyone can see the results live in the meeting. As you saw, Slido is now a part of the Webex Suite. You don't need to buy a separate tool. Audience engagement at this scale is truly revolutionary. That is why we'll make sure Slido works with other collaboration tools, even Microsoft and Zoom. Now, how many times have you found yourself in the middle of an important phone conversation when you realized you really needed to bring in other participants or escalate the call to a full-blown meeting? It happens to me all the time. With the Webex Suite, you can do that. In just a few clicks, you can now move a call to an immersive, collaborative Webex experience, complete with things like real-time translations, transcription, gesture recognition, and Webex Insights. I love this feature as it allows me to maintain focus and flow without losing any momentum. Now, we've always been a leader when it comes to purpose-built immersive devices, and the Webex Devices portfolio continues to inspire. Webex has the most comprehensive set of devices, whether you're working from home, in the office, or on the front line. We've got you covered. Employees working from home can upgrade their audio and video experience with our Webex Desk Camera and headset, and our Webex Desk Pro. It's your all-in-one primary monitor and video collaboration device. It's powered with AI technology that reduces meeting fatigue and even allows you to join meetings from other providers of your choice. And last December, we introduced the Webex Desk, a smaller version of our award-winning Desk Pro. So today, I'm thrilled to announce that the Webex Desk can be ordered this month at a reduced price. Now, back in the office, Webex Room Series devices make it easier for you to find an open workspace, book a conference room, and start your meetings. Webex also offers collaboration devices designed specifically for the frontline worker, whether you're working in a hospital, on a retail shop floor, or in manufacturing. We've packed enterprise-grade quality into a set of rugged devices that enable hands-free collaboration when you need it the most. And that's not all. Our Webex cloud pricing that you get with Webex Suite makes all of our Webex devices affordable for everyone in your organization. It's just one more way the Webex Suite enables flexibility. Now, in this crazy, busy hybrid world, everyone could use a helping hand. Wouldn't you love to have a personal assistant? With our Webex devices, you get your own Webex assistant. It recognizes your voice, and you can talk to it. You can ask it to start a meeting, make a phone call, turn down the volume. How incredible is that? But today, we are taking it to the next level with the new Webex Assistant Skills Platform. This platform allows customers, partners, and third-party developers to customize the Webex Assistant in new, innovative ways. You can add your own custom skills to meet your organization's needs. Let me show you some of these skills being developed by our growing network of partners.
Hi, my name's Anwar Alzarini, Product Manager for Webex Assistant. If you're familiar with Webex Assistant, then you're already aware of how natural language voice dialogue can streamline your workday and help your team collaborate more efficiently. So let's take a look at some of the skills being developed by our network of partners, the first ever being Appspace. You can use Appspace for Webex Assistant to find the right workspace, learn how to use a Webex device, display company content, and more. Here's how it'll work on a RoomKit and other Webex Assistant supported devices. Okay, Webex, ask Appspace for the occupancy in Building 19.
Here is the occupancy for Building 19.
Look safe to head over. Exciting new applications like this can help us safely transition back to the office, and from the comfort of my own desk, I can confidently check the capacity and occupancy of my next workplace destination.
The Webex Assistant skills are a fantastic way to bring more flexibility and customization to your workspaces. I can't wait for you to try them. Our commitment to flexibility doesn't end there. All of our Webex solutions integrate seamlessly with many of these popular cloud applications, so you can get work done without leaving your workflow. And we continue to add new industry-leading applications and partner integrations. So stay tuned for many exciting additions coming soon. While I love how virtual events like these are able to reach hundreds of thousands of viewers, I do miss the connection and interactions of in-person events like grabbing dinner with a customer or a colleague at the end of a long day. But in reality, just like the future of work is hybrid, so is the future of events. With some attendees in person and others remote, how do you ensure high levels of engagement and a positive experience for everyone, no matter how they join? The Webex Suite has you covered. And to tell you more, I'd like to welcome Omar Tawakal.
Thank you. We've completely reimagined the world of events. We realized that the future had to fuse the benefits of high engagement, in-person events, with high-reach virtual events into a new breed of hybrid events. In addition to that, we felt that previous event models were treating their audience as if they had never seen them before. We're flipping that model on its ear by putting the audience member in the center so that marketers can continuously engage with the audience members across time and across events. Finally, rather than forcing marketers to choose different event platforms for large and small, internal and external events, we brought this all together in a single platform. Webex now delivers the most comprehensive event technology stack in the industry. The Webex platform can now power events of any size, from small webinars to large multi-day events. The Webex platform can also power events of any type, be they physical, virtual, or hybrid. All of these events benefit from the innovation, security, and scale of the Webex platform. Let's see how. We've refreshed Webex Events webinar mode to host two-way interactive sessions between panelists and attendees. We've also extended its scale to accommodate 10,000 attendees today and are expanding that to up to 25,000. All of this so you can host large and small events on one platform. Now, sometimes you need even more reach than that. For those larger events, the new Webex Events Webcast mode allows up to 100,000 attendees. That's ideal for events that require one-way broadcasts with chat, such as an all-hands, concerts, and broadcasts. Now let's shift gears to talk about hybrid events. Before the pandemic, most events were tailored to in-person attendees. In order to participate, attendees had to travel to the same physical space, sometimes even in another country. These events were engaging, but they're also expensive. During the pandemic, live events were forced to become virtual events. Though they reached a larger number of people at a lower cost, the engagement in those events were also lower. The future of events is hybrid, and that is an event with the energy and networking of an in-person experience, combined with the reach and digital enhancement of a virtual experience. Now we see a second major trend, the move to continuous engagement. Rather than view individual events as isolated islands that are ephemeral, continuous engagement provides the ability to talk to an audience member across time. For example, before an event, you can manage registration, ticketing, profile building, and agenda building. During an event, you can manage a broadcast, drive attendee networking, manage audience polling, and Q&A. After an event, you can drive analytics, video on demand, and also continuing to engage the audience members. But continuous engagement also means that you can remember that audience member across events. For example, the same person who attends a company's annual conference also attends their other events, like a webinar. By putting the audience member in the center, the continuous engagement enables a personalized experience, from single sign-on to retained preferences and the ability to view persistent content such as recordings and conversations. To deliver this continuous engagement, a new type of platform was needed. We're so excited to announce Cisco's intent to acquire Socio Labs, a modern event technology platform designed to power the future of hybrid events. With the addition of Socio's hybrid event management platform, Webex will provide event organizers with a single events platform that provides everything they need to successfully host an in-person, virtual, or hybrid event. Socio enables easy-to-use, customizable branded registration and ticketing capabilities. It integrates web, mobile, and event hall experiences, as well as providing actionable insights about event attendees and their sponsors. With Socio technology, event organizers are able to provide attendees a personal journey across the life cycle of all their events by remembering their preferences and allowing them to view content and continue their networking. Hybrid events need to serve both in-person and virtual audiences alike, and Socio delivers equally engaging and inclusive experiences to all. We've talked a lot about the different capabilities, but let's look at what this practically feels like. Now imagine sitting in a keynote where you're able to use your mobile phone as a second screen with live closed captions translated to over 100 languages. You're also able to interact with the same speakers in person or online via audience polling and Q&A. After the keynote, you realize the breakout session you wanted to go to is just too far to make it in time. So you join virtually via your mobile phone, asking questions and chatting as if you were there physically. The conversation from the breakout session continues even after the session's done. The chat remains live, and the questions that weren't answered in the session are answered in the online space afterwards. After the conference is over, your persistent customizations carry over to your next event. Webex and Socio together, along with our recent acquisition of Slido, creates the most comprehensive event technology platform in the industry. By combining Webex scale, security, and innovative features like real-time translations and live polling, with Socio's hybrid event management technology, event organizers get a powerful platform, a platform that will be able to effectively execute events of all sizes and types on one unified stack. Webex is revolutionizing events by making it easy and simple with everything you need in one place. The future of events is on Webex. Thank you so much. Javed, back to you.
Thank you, Omar. Everything you just saw is included in the Webex Suite. That means you don't need to buy a separate event management tool. Now, let's look at how the Webex Suite is providing inclusive experiences for all users. One of the biggest hybrid work concerns we hear about from our customers is how do we ensure everyone feels included, has a voice, and an equal experience? The Webex Suite is solving for this. And to show you how, I'm pleased to introduce Maya Mclean.
Thank you, Javed. I couldn't agree with you more. We understand that enterprises around the world are taking on a new challenge with hybrid work. People in the same meeting might be sitting at different locations, sometimes even globally. They may even communicate in different languages. Regardless of these factors, we don't want anyone to feel like a second-class participant. We want to ensure that we can get the best out of everyone. For example, many people join meetings from Webex.com, and we want to ensure they feel like they are equal participant in all the meetings they attend. In December, we announced that we were going to deliver real-time translations from English to 15 languages. We have raised the bar and have increased our language coverage to 108, further minimizing any barrier to great collaboration. While real-time translation from English to 108 languages is great, we know many users are not native English speakers. That's why we're expanding real-time translation and meeting transcription to include Chinese, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Polish, Hindi, Dutch, and Spanish. Translation will be enabled from any of these languages, in addition to a translation from English to 108. No matter which language is spoken, we want to ensure your experience is the very best with Webex. Last year, we found many people working in environments where they were not able to control all of the noise around them. With our Babel Labs acquisition fully integrated into Webex, we were able to deliver background noise removal. This allows everyone to come across as professional, as if they were in the office conference room. People can focus on the discussion, decision, or debate at hand, instead of the distracting noise around you, like the dog barking or your child in the background. We have gotten a lot of feedback on background noise removal, which was the first feature we launched with our audio intelligence technology. We are building on this momentum by investing even further in this area with a second audio intelligence feature, My Voice Only. As we plan to come back to the office, we needed to take a closer look at the profile of the environment people were coming back to. We know that folks are working in shared spaces or areas with open hallways, all of which are perfect for additional conversations where your voice may not be the only voice in the room. Today, with our new My Voice Only feature, we not only suppress background noise, we also ensure that only your voice comes through instead of the voices around you. Let's take a look at My Voice Only in action.
So here I am in a video conference with my colleague Savita, and my other colleagues, Goching and Visali, are in background having a chat. In this case, this interrupts my conversation with Savita. So I can go into Webex Smart Audio and switch from just noise removal to My Voice Only. Now, their voices are suppressed in the background, and I can get on with my work with Savita.
One of the biggest advantages of being in the conference room is standing up at the front of the room, commanding the attention of the audience with your content projected behind you. Available now with our immersive share, you can recreate and improve this experience from anywhere by digitally being seen alongside your content. This is available from both the app and our devices to ensure you can deliver your best pitches and presentations. As some people have started to come back to the office with hybrid work, we are starting to see a new challenge. With some folks at home and some in the conference room, people are not visually shown in the same format, and this creates an unequal experience. Folks from home take up a single block on a meeting grid, while folks in the room must share the conference room block. Now with Peoplefocus, we represent all people, whether working remote or sitting in a common conference room, as individual members of the meeting in the meeting grid. Peoplefocus is built on our camera intelligence and is the first feature in this area. Let's take a look.
Peoplefocus utilizes the intelligence that's built into our cameras to dynamically update the screen layout to ensure you always get the best view in a meeting, regardless of where you join from. Take this scenario. I'm working from home, having a one-on-one call with Jacopo, who is also working from home. This is the view you would probably be used to, but what happens when other people join? Now you can see that Milan has joined the call. Traditional layouts like this one would have wasted a lot of the screen space with smaller images of Milan and Jacopo. But with Peoplefocus, we can present them in a side-by-side portrait view, a much better experience. When Todek joins, the layout automatically adapts to the number of people. So what happens when someone joins from another meeting room? This is what you would usually get. If the main speaker is sitting at the back of the meeting room, that person can be difficult to see, making it hard for the remote participants to follow the conversation. With Peoplefocus, every meeting participant shows up equally, and with face recognition clearly showing everyone's name and title. Traditionally, when sharing content, the meeting room participants appear together in one window, making it hard for us to see their individual reactions. This is because with shared content, there's less space for video participants, but Peoplefocus will adapt the layout to make sure you see everyone. We provide the best view for every participant, making sure that no one is missing out and no one is left behind. Because everyone deserves an equal seat at the table.
Such a cool feature to look forward to. As we come back to work, all enterprises will be tackling the challenge of how to ensure meetings are inclusive and that no one feels like a second-class participant, regardless of their location. Enterprises all over the world will be thinking about how to create this type of experience for their employees, and we are here to help them. As you can see today, we have brought to life several new and exciting features to deliver inclusive experiences for everyone with Webex, no matter the location. I hope you are as excited as I am. Now back to you, Javed.
Thank you, Maya. Cisco's mission is to power an inclusive future for all. That is why I love working for Cisco. As a leader, it is important to me that we take employee well-being seriously. This is core not just to Cisco's culture, but also to the way we build our products. Today, we are also introducing a host of new innovations focused on just that. Let's take a closer look with Aruna Ravichandran.
Thank you, Javed. In the new hybrid work environment, top areas of focus for employers are: how do you build an empathetic culture and support employee well-being? 2, how do you reduce or eliminate employee burnout? Number 3, how do you safely bring people back into the office? According to a recent global survey done by McKinsey across several thousand global enterprises, 49% of the respondents said they were actually experiencing burnout. That represents 1 out of every 2 coworkers you actually know. As Fran shared earlier, this is a core area of focus for us at Cisco, leading with empathy and compassion, and we have actually doubled down our efforts on this. Last week, we announced a new partnership with Thrive Global, Arianna Huffington's company, where now Webex will integrate with their Thrive Resets app. With this integration, when someone has been in back-to-back meetings or calls without a break, they'll now get a Webex message asking if they would like to take a short break. That could be a 60-second of breathing exercise or stretching exercise. Or you can also create your own personal reset with images, quotes of your choice, or music of your choice. In fact, neuroscience research has shown that it only takes 60 seconds to recenter ourselves and prevent stress from becoming cumulative. Integrating Thrive Resets into the Webex platform will now better enable employee well-being to help and reduce burnout. Earlier this year, we brought a new innovation to market called People Insights, again focused on employee well-being. Personal Insights, which is a part of People Insights, gives employee the ability to set personal goals for work-life balance, focus time, and also gives you real-time views on their progress. For example, if you have set dedicated focus time for yourself on getting the job done, and you are now running from one meeting to the other, you will now get a notification through Webex app reminding you of your focus time. It lets you set and monitor your personal preferences directly within the Webex app. And this innovation empowers employees to focus their time on what matters to them the most. And this data is private by default and is only available to you as an employee and not to your manager or anyone else. People Insights also helps you identify, are you building those strong connections with your team? Are you spending equal time with all members of your team? Are you providing a supportive environment equally to all members of your team? People Insights was designed to focus on employee well-being and enable a work-life balance, which is very critical, especially at these times. And like all of the Cisco products, we ensure that all this data is private by default. Only individual employees have access to his or her data. Creating a supportive environment is also about enabling a safe return to the office. We have brought many innovations to the market, in the last few months, specifically in order to support a safe return to the office. For example, when employees are in the office, digital signage can now alert them to the latest social distancing protocols or any important company communications, leveraging the existing Webex device monitors. And digital signage is supported across all Webex device screen and can be centrally managed from the Control Hub for one location or across the entire organization. When you bring employees back into the office and you want to enforce social distancing guidelines, we got you. Our intelligent Webex devices in the workspaces or conference room will now give you an alert if the capacity limitations of that particular space or room has exceeded. And the Webex intelligent room booking solutions can integrate wayfinding to guide employees to find additional meeting spaces, nearly for more intelligent options to accommodate safe return to the office. Information about when shared spaces were last cleaned can also be important, especially at these times. Webex can now integrate cleaning schedules to notify employees about the last time the room was cleaned. And we're developing more intelligence to further automate our cleaning processes. Webex Assistant, our voice assistant, just like Alexa, is available with all of our devices to create those touch-free experiences. And like I said, that kind of an experience is more important than ever when you think about safe return to the office. Previously, Webex Assistant only communicated in English. Today, we're announcing the support for 2 additional languages, French and Spanish. Webex Assistant Skill platform, which Javed shared earlier, opens up even more opportunities to customize experiences. For example, you can ask the Webex Assistant to show you or stream your workplace cafeteria activity on your device so that you can choose a time when you feel more comfortable taking a lunch break. Or if you're in IT, maybe you would like Webex Assistant to bring up a dashboard of all open tickets so you can review the status of your tickets. Or customize the Webex Assistant to ask the cleaning team to service a meeting room. You can also teach new skills to the Webex Assistant to help you with a whole range of work-related tasks to transform your workplace. In this hybrid work world, we should support our employees' health and well-being. Because if we learned one thing over the last year, it's that employees need empathy. Webex provides you with all the capabilities and insights to help reduce employee fatigue and keep them focused and enables a safe return to the office. Back to you, Javed.
Thanks for sharing, Aruna. I could not agree more. Safety and empathy are key to employee well-being in this new hybrid world. Now, next up, we're going to talk about security. And I really want you all to pay close attention. You know, everyone talks about the importance of security in everything we do today, but very few are doing it the right way. What you're about to see is going to be the difference between success and failure for your business moving forward. With less oversight of your users, devices, and data, how confident are you that your collaboration tools are truly secure? Now, we know you care about privacy, protecting intellectual property, and staying compliant. How do you enable hybrid work without inviting more risk or creating additional complexity? Let's hear more from Abhay Kulkarni about the latest.
Thank you, Javed. As Jeetu and Javed mentioned, one key pillar of hybrid workplace is security. You probably get tired of hearing us say it, but security has and always will be part of who we are at Cisco. We are relentless about it. You can count on everything we do to always be secure by design, private by default, and compliant for all. Let me explain that a little bit more. As companies shift to a hybrid workplace, securing their interactions is even more important. Sensitive corporate meetings that used to be held behind closed doors are now conducted over video conferencing. Attendees in these interactions can be in conference room or remote, joining from a corporate managed device or an unmanaged personal device, and will be interacting with their colleagues as well as trusted external guests. Before the pandemic, when we met guests or external collaborators or even our coworkers for these highly confidential meetings, there were various checks to ensure that they were who they claimed to be. For example, your security officer in the lobby duly asked your guests for their ID to verify who they were. Or you would be holding a badge that your coworkers could verify and which was hard to forge. In this day and age, when deepfake videos are commonplace, why would you compromise this important level of security in the hybrid world? At Webex, we've always thought about security as a foundation. It's built in, not bolted on. So more than a decade ago, when we created the industry's first end-to-end encrypted meeting, we were thinking ahead to address the needs of our customers. We are again thinking ahead by introducing the industry's first zero trust security in collaboration. Zero trust means that no one is trusted by default from inside or outside, and verification is required from everyone before even trying to gain access to resources or data. Back in December, we announced our approach to zero trust security, and our security architects published a paper detailing our design. Our approach to zero trust security is based on standards that not only encrypt meeting content end to end, but also verify the identities of each participant. We are also extending this to cover all devices, conference rooms, apps, or mobile phones or laptops. Cisco has always been active in standards bodies, so we like getting extra scrutiny, review, testing, and vetting from the broader industry and academia, and we think it's very important, and that's why we are building our next generation end-to-end stack on open source and standards protocols like ACME, MLS, and SFrame. In addition, this will also pave the path for third-party devices to also participate based on standards compliance. In an end-to-end encrypted meeting, there are usually three key transactions that need to be done securely. First, you need to verify the identity of all participants. Second, you need to securely set up end-to-end encryption keys without the cloud provider or any man in the middle having the ability to intercept the key. And third, you need to encrypt media as well as chat, whiteboard, and files exchanged in a meeting. In the past, these were done using protocols like OpenID and SAML for single sign-on, SDS or DTLS for key exchange, and SRTP for media encryption. In zero trust security, these protocols need to be augmented in many ways, which is why we are adopting ACME for verifying identity in addition to single sign-on, MLS for key exchange, and SFrame for media encryption. Well, to make sense of all this protocol mumbo jumbo, let's take a look at an end-to-end encrypted meeting in action. At first glance, this looks like just another Webex meeting. But when you are in an end-to-end encrypted meeting, Webex will show you a special shield that indicates that you are in an end-to-end encrypted meeting. This shield is also shown if you are joining this meeting from a conference room as well. Webex also computes a unique security code that summarizes the unique end-to-end security attributes for the meeting, including the keys as well as the identities of the participants. And attendees can verify that they all have the same security code to confirm that the meeting is safe. In addition, each attendee also receives a certificate that can be independently verified by all other attendees, just like your security officer in the lobby can verify in-person guests. Zero trust security in Webex will be in public beta in July and generally available shortly after. At Cisco, we believe that privacy is a fundamental human right. We don't have a search engine to profit from after all, and we ensure we are open and transparent about what data we collect from you and what it is used for. Our public trust portal on trustportal.cisco.com publishes our privacy data sheets and privacy data maps. The privacy data maps allows anyone to visually follow how their data gets stored, used, or forwarded. Oftentimes, you are told in order to get the benefits of AI, you have to let companies train on your data. we think that is fundamentally broken and technically unnecessary. This is why we do not train on your data without your explicit permission. And if you do not grant permission for us to train on your data, we do not lock you out of using AI features. Ensuring that collaboration, whether in a meeting, a chat message, or on a call, is compliant is even more important in a hybrid world. Webex calling, meetings, and messaging already support various compliance features like e-discovery, legal hold, and content classification. And Webex always supported data loss prevention by allowing customers to create policies on where classified content can be shared and by who. Now we are announcing industry's first real-time data loss prevention. With real-time DLP, you can prohibit classified content from ever being sent rather than redacting or deleting the content after it is posted. We not only build this feature for security administrators, but also use this feature to guide the users in best practices by providing in-app messaging if their content violates policy. We know that our collaboration products have to work in the security ecosystem, which is why we partner with many industry-leading SASE, CASB, and compliance products. These integrations are now deployed with many customers, allowing them to choose from a wide variety of security products for DLP, e-discovery, data classification, legal hold, malware scanning, and so on. Now, as our customers move to Webex calling, we have added several security and compliance improvements to calling as well. Policies for voicemail pin length, disabling forwarding voicemails, blocking calls from a person or a number, and ray-bomb regulation support, just to name a few of them. Also, to help solve the vexing problem of robocalls, Webex calling will natively support stir and shaken next year. As you can see, Webex is truly secure by design, private by default, and compliant for all. And as a validation of our security mindset, the NSA, in an independent assessment of collaboration products, graded Webex as meeting or exceeding all requirements against their criteria. Unfortunately, our competitors did not enjoy the same privilege. This NSA reports validated our product's capabilities before any of the innovations I announced today. The innovations we announced today will further distance us from our competitors. Back to you, Javed.
Fascinating stuff, Abhay. Security is our DNA. It's built into the Webex Suite, not bolted on. Now, there's no doubt about it. Hybrid work is complex and dynamic. Delivering the best secure experience presents new challenges for administrators. The Webex Suite also delivers a powerful set of tools to help you manage your infrastructure and support your users with frictionless administration. So please join me in welcoming Larissa Horton to tell us more.
Thank you, Javed. I'm excited to be here today to share with you what we are doing to enable IT to best manage users and environments in a hybrid world. First, let's take a step back. Prior to the pandemic, IT had to manage a set of buildings, desks, and conference rooms. Overnight, that expanded to managing experiences across hundreds, if not thousands, of remote home offices. As Javed mentioned, with the next evolution to hybrid work, the IT challenges are transforming again. Now, IT plans need to support long-term remote employees while accommodating a different set of experiences in the office, like more shared workspaces for hoteling or hot desking. All of this while ensuring all employees can do their best work safely, regardless of where they work from. The Webex portfolio enables IT to support their organizations whether they are 100% remote or 100% back in the office, or somewhere in between. Our Webex Control Hub is the single pane of glass to better manage end users, devices, and environments in real time. It includes data for all communication mediums on our platform, from calling to meetings, messaging and devices, and integrations across applications. I believe we have the best admin portal in the world. You don't need a different experience to manage hardware or software experiences like meetings or calling. You can do everything from one place. We are the only vendor on the market that allows you to do this. Webex Control Hub delivers insights for improved experiences as well as ideal setup to get the most out of the entire Webex portfolio. Real-time analytics around users' quality of experience, adoption, and workspace utilization are available to ensure IT knows exactly what their users are experiencing. It is the tool for end-to-end troubleshooting and insights for any user across hardware and software experiences. One of the common trends we saw during the pandemic was the need for devices for new remote workers. Whether they be headsets or cameras, it was critical to hear and see each other while working from home. Most did not have the right setup for successful remote work. The challenge that emerged from this proliferation of devices is the management of the new devices into your organization. Whether it be security patches or firmware updates, IT was now dependent on end users to manage their own devices and improve their overall experience. With Webex Control Hub and Webex Devices, IT gets fleet management or bulk management of devices in the hybrid workforce. From a headset to a Desk Pro, IT can manage and push updates to ensure the company stays secure while getting the best experience for end users, regardless of where that device is used from, at home or in the office. All of the data in Control Hub is powered by our Webex Cloud, our global set of data centers designed for real-time media with the scale and reach needed for all organizations large and small. I'm excited to announce that we will be expanding our overall data center footprint into new regions to scale to our continuous growth and provide improved data sovereignty for customers in the EU, India, and Canada. We aren't just optimizing for end user and room management. We also focus on network, media, and Pstn management. We have been hard at work building our Webex Unified Edge to ensure that we can help deliver higher quality experiences at lower costs. We do this with a single media backbone across calling, meetings, devices, and contact center. We also keep calls on our Webex network to improve quality while lowering that Pstn cost. And finally, we continue to enhance network traffic into the enterprise for optimized bandwidth utilization. This better prepares IT for the change in end user behavior with higher bandwidth needs. With our continued investment in Pstn, we have global coverage across 85 countries with 25 service providers. While we look for ways to save our customers money, we also drive simplicity into management with experiences like integrated calling plans. Let's take a look.
Webex Calling now provides multiple connectivity options that address the communication needs of the smallest business to large multinational enterprises. Within Webex Control Hub, IT administrators or partners can quickly choose between three options when setting up a new site: Cisco Pstn, partner-provided cloud-connected Pstn, and on-premise trunks. Today, we're going to take a look at Cisco's newest offer, Cisco Integrated Pstn. After selecting Cisco Pstn, my contact information and address information is pre-populated. The system will validate my address for emergency routing. And with that, we're now ready to select numbers. I can order numbers as part of a trial, or for paid subscriptions, I have the option to port existing numbers over to my new Cisco service. In the number selection screen, I have the option of choosing my numbers based on area code or city. And to simplify the ordering process, I can have Webex Control Hub auto-select numbers on my behalf. In this case, I'd like Cisco to auto-choose 100 numbers for me. I'm satisfied with the 100 numbers selected, so I'm going to go ahead and order the numbers. Once the order is placed, I can check on the status of my order. In this case, the 100 numbers have already been provisioned and are ready for use. So let's go ahead and assign a number. I'm going to assign this to an individual user account. In the license assignment screen, I set up my account with Webex Calling and, in the process, assign one of the new numbers. This will provision me with the Webex Calling service and allow me to make and receive calls over Pstn. Now that I'm set up, I'm going to launch my Webex app experience to test out my new service. Webex informs me of my emergency services information, and now I can make a call. And with that, I'm up and running with my new Pstn service.
I am so excited with this innovation. Now, you can procure Pstn directly from our Control Hub, allowing you to get a new calling site up and running in minutes instead of days or weeks. Last but not least, we want to help IT hear the voice of their customers, their own employees. We have built in new user satisfaction surveys that provides insights and reports of user feedback on Webex, all centralized in Control Hub. Overall, we are bringing new capabilities to help IT gain better visibility and manageability into how their organizations will run in the new hybrid work environment. Webex is the only solution to enable IT to manage every user, every device, working from any location, from our single pane of glass, Webex Control Hub. Okay, back to you, Javed.
Thank you, Larissa. So what did we talk about today? Let's be clear, Webex is no longer just about meetings. Yes, last year it was all about video conferencing. We all wanted to see each other, talk to each other. But today, how we work and how we get things done has changed and evolved. Meetings alone are no longer sufficient. Technology needs to keep up and adapt to our needs, which is why we built the Webex Suite. The Webex Suite incorporates all of the solutions you need to get work done, be more effective, more impactful, and more successful. And you don't need to buy separate solutions to get all of these benefits. And if you have existing collaboration solutions in place, the Webex Suite integrates and plays well with others, complementing the value of your existing investments. And as we constantly innovate and add new solutions to the Webex Suite, you'll get those capabilities automatically. With Cisco, you get an all-in-one solution. You can't get this anywhere else. I hope you're feeling as excited as I am about the new Webex Suite and all that is possible with the new capabilities you've seen today. Don't just take my word for it. See for yourself how Webex will enable you and your organization for hybrid work today, tomorrow, and into the future. And now, I'll send you back to Jeetu.
Thank you, Javed, to you and the team for doing such a fantastic job with showcasing the innovations in our product. Folks, you saw the product. I also had the honor of speaking to many of our customers on how they're putting these amazing innovations to good use in their transformation journey to hybrid work. Let's take a look. Hello, everyone. I have a very special guest with me, Catherine Warini, who is the Chief Information Officer at IBM. And we're going to talk about how employee well-being needs to be at the forefront and what specifically IBM has done to mobilize and continue business with 350,000 employees plus during the pandemic crisis, but also after, and how are they thinking about it? So welcome, Catherine. How are you?
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
What I want to talk to you today about is hybrid work. Walk us through the most surprising thing that you've seen as you've seen this kind of transition in the post-COVID era into hybrid work.
You know, one of the things that we've learned is that employees really thrive when they have the combination of both the digital and the physical workspace that meets their needs. And those requirements have changed over the course of this pandemic. And as we foresee people coming back into office environments over time as safety and the pandemic improves. And we moved more than 300,000 employees across the IBM company into a virtual environment nearly 15 months ago, practically overnight. And we needed to have the tools, the technologies, the policies, the flexibility to make that work. And fortunately, the feedback we've gotten from our teams and as we observed our business is we've maintained productivity and engagement despite some very, very challenging circumstances facing businesses and employees all over the world.
If you think about this entire kind of shift to hybrid work, which is sometimes people are going to work in the office, sometimes they're going to work at home, sometimes somewhere in the middle, how is this going to impact culture? And how do you think that the IBM engine, so to say, is going to accommodate for the culture nuances and differences?
Yeah, culture, it's all about how work gets done. right? And are we creating an environment that is enabling a high performance culture along with high engagement? And that's what we aspire to, focusing around safety first, and then making sure that everyone has the environment, the technology, the processes, the support needed. Culturally, that's required us to be creative, right? To be doing things a little bit differently in the virtualized work environment that we've experienced this last year. Where in the past maybe we would go out to dinner with our colleagues or have a coffee break together. We've not been able to do that in person for quite some time. But our teams have been very flexible, creative about having virtual events together, sending a meal and then sharing a coffee or a happy hour virtually, where our teams created something, it's called the Work From Home Pledge, saying, we commit to enabling a degree of understanding, empathy, and flexibility. And that degree of empathy and caring really does carry forward pays dividends, because we're investing in one another, and it's a long-term investment.
How is technology in your mind playing a role in this hybrid work?
Well, technology plays such an essential role. It's one of those things that has enabled us to make this seamless move into virtual work, and it will be what helps us to make the hybrid model successful as well. Everything from core infrastructure, making sure that we have the right networking connections and security protocols, and the infrastructure scalability and responsiveness obviously are essential to enabling every individual to be able to have the support and responsiveness they need.
So one area, Catherine, that I wanted to kind of pick your brain on a little bit more is around this whole idea of well-being, employee well-being. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think safety and well-being are essential and need to be prioritized. That's something, we've always taken seriously in terms of having the right protocols, safety infrastructure in our buildings and so on. But it's taken to a new level now when we're all dealing with a global pandemic and a very different working environment. So it certainly starts with empathy, flexibility. I think there are also practices that we can put into place that help. We've done a few things in my organization, like suggesting meeting-free days on a recurring basis, so that individuals, giving people permission to take time away from the full interaction, whether it's meetings, video conferences, and so on, and say, take that time away to focus around your individual work, so that you're not just meeting, because I think we can all get so consumed with that. And then it frees up then the time for innovation, for creation, for some thoughtful work. So thinking about designing the work in such a way that it reflects the purpose, and then supporting our employees in that way is how we think about it.
If you think about Cisco and IBM, we share so many of these core values. It's such a great partnership, and we love working with you in multiple different capacities. Thank you for being a customer. Thank you for being a great partner. Thank you for being a thought leader. And we really appreciate you taking the time and coming here, share with us some of the thoughts that you have around hybrid work. Thanks again, Catherine, for joining us.
Thank you. Looking forward to continuing to partner.
Where are you working today? At home? At the office? Somewhere else? It's a question that suddenly has a lot of answers. That's because work has gone hybrid. Webex transforms familiar tools and familiar spaces into something more collaborative. Pick up your phone, and voila, your meetings, contacts, and calendar are a touch away. Need to start a meeting? One touch, and you're connected, sharing ideas and collaborating. If you're working any place that isn't the office, you're covered. You have access to the same groundbreaking AI that automatically takes notes, captures action items, and provides real-time transcription and language translation. Even spaces become smarter. So let's get to work. From home, the office, and everywhere in between. The world is your workplace.
Zach, it's such a pleasure to have you join us at the event, and thank you again for taking the time. We are so excited to talk to you about F1 Formula Racing and McLaren and all the things that we're doing together, so welcome.
Awesome. Great to be here, G2. I'm excited.
Tell us, how has this entire thing changed with COVID in your business? Because it's your business is such a complicated business where remote work can't really happen in racing all that much, but it seems like you folks have pulled it off. So how have you actually managed to keep going with such a complex, precise kind of sport during this very, very difficult time?
Let me start with what's not changed, because, we race 20 to 23 times a year all around the world. And so in one aspect, we're very used to remote working and, communication via Webex when we're racing in China or Abu Dhabi or America. From our factory to our race team, we have about 100 people that travel to each Grand Prix. And then back at what we call mission control, about 50 people back at the factory in England, and there's real-time communication. So from that standpoint, other than the COVID protocols our traveling team go through, that's been kind of business as usual. Where it's really changed for all of us is now, we've all been working from home for over a year now, and to actually run a racing team and build race cars, physical elements, while working from home with split shifts and things of that nature. We're just totally relying on WebEx and these types of conversations. And in a strange way, I think it's actually made us a lot closer as an entity, because when you have conversations like this, we've all been in these meetings before where there's 12 people in the conference room and a couple people are talking, and then the rest might be on their phone, where this feels very, very intimate, very one-to-one. So I think it's brought our relationships closer.
That's fantastic. And so I know that from a performance standpoint, every millisecond counts in your business, and the way in which the races happen and how you communicate with the drivers and how you're communicating with each other while the races are going on. What did you have to think as you constructed this entire kind of hybrid work model, and is hybrid sports a real thing?
I think what we've had to do is figure out, how do we do what we normally do, but in a remote manner. And especially when we're racing, communications are critical. We have to make decisions. Sometimes we have literally a second to make a decision on a pit stop or a tire compound, or a safety car is going to come out. So not only do we need instant communications, we need reliability. And fortunately, we have that. So it's worked seamlessly. I'm amazed when we all kind of went home, that, the first time when, kind of COVID really kicked in, we were, kind of nervous about, will our technology infrastructure kind of pass the test? And, credit to our technology and our technology partnerships like this, it worked seamlessly.
Now, racing business is actually a very, very precise, high-performance, demanding business. And you said there's 23 races that you do. I have to ask you this question before we go into too many details. In Formula One, how long does it take to change the flat tires when a driver pulls in?
Good question. So we try and get 90% of our pit stops, change all four tires within 3 seconds. We try and get 50% of our pit stops within 2.5 seconds. Over 3 seconds is bad. And the world record is, I think it's 1.92 seconds. And it's amazing watching the team. These drivers are coming in at 60 kph. They have to stop on the absolute perfect stop, and they want to leave it as late as possible. And then you have all these mechanics, very brave. You've got this racing car coming to you at 60 kph, and you got to be laser focused on getting that tire on and tire off. And they do all that in about 2 seconds.
It just feels like magic, the whole thing, the way that it happens. And so every millisecond clearly counts. And so I know that from a overall technology perspective and the technologies that you use, there's a high amount of emphasis on performance, on quality, on all of those pieces that our teams have actually really appreciated. And you've pushed us and pushed us and pushed us, and we've gotten better as we've served you as well, because there's a very, very different kind of emphasis on every small little nuanced detail, because it's so time sensitive. Any kind of learnings that you've had, and what What changed? What surprised you? What was something that you thought was going to be slightly different but wasn't?
If you would have said, let's work from home and let's go run races around the world, you would have just said it's just not achievable. And the way, our team came together and worked with our partners, and I'm sure the same can be said inside Cisco and a lot of great companies around the world, the way the individuals have come together and rallied such a terrible time. We've all know people that have COVID has changed their lives and not for the good. And so to have people come together and, it's technology that I think has saved the world, because I think had this happened 20 years ago, you would have just shut down business. But this has allowed us to kind of be business as usual. I'm sure this is where the world was going, but what COVID has done is it's forced the issue and made us adapt and embrace a lot quicker. And so now we've got these learnings and we've done stuff that I don't think we as humans thought were possible. And I think we've all surprised ourselves. And, to me now it's about taking these learnings and making sure that we apply them moving forward, because what I have found is now I find we're more efficient. I think we're fiscally more efficient. We don't necessarily have to get on a plane and spend a day. Now, if we have a meeting, you dial in 2 minutes before it starts. You don't get on a plane to get to the airport an hour early to travel 2 hours, and it's pretty unproductive. So I have found productivity has never been higher.
As you see us getting back to normal, hopefully, whenever that might be the case, how do you see the pattern changing? Because the way that we're seeing our customers tell us is the future of work is going to be hybrid. Sometimes people will work from home. Sometimes they'll work in the office. Sometimes somewhere in the middle. Do you see the same? Do you see it being all one way or all the other? How are you thinking about this for your culture and your organization?
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. I think it's going to be hybrid. I don't think getting back to normal is going to be the normal from 18, 15 months ago. Yeah. I think we're going to be in the, factory sometimes. And then, of course, we have people that are physically working on the cars. So they're going to have to be in more, but we're going to get into different shift patterns. I feel like we've gotten closer to all of our partners because everyone's been kind of sitting still. I always use the term sometimes to speed up, you got to slow down. And so I found, now we're doing Webex, video calls instead of traditional calls, and it feels much more relationship based. We've even done dinners via Webex. We've hosted events. It's pretty awesome, and I'm excited for the future because the biggest thing for me is I feel like productivity is going to go up.
So you've been using Webex a lot. What are your favorite features? Like, what do you like the most about the product?
Well, probably the two that are most important for us, just given our sport, is noise. We're quite often in a loud environment. And so to be able to block out that background noise so we can have a communication while there might be an engine getting fired up or a wheel change gun, it's a loud environment. And then we have 24 different nationalities on our racing team, and we're broadcasting to just about 200 countries. So to be able to use the different language feature, especially combined with noise, if you're having a hard time understanding someone and then add some noise into it, forget it. You can't really have a conversation. And when we're trying to have very detailed conversations, you need to know exactly what that person's saying to you. You can't just kind of nod your head because they're giving you some information that you need for the racing team. So I think those two features are what's most important to us from a performance standpoint.
That's fantastic. And by the way, if you were to think about, how the racing business in general changes over the course of the next 3-5 years, there's a few things that are going to be the same, which is you have to race on the racetrack. You can't race anywhere else. So that's going to be there. But how does this change, and what kind of forces of disruption and innovation do you see within your business model as you move forward?
I think it's all about engagement with the fans or the partners. So, one of the coolest places in the world to be, if you're a Formula One fan, is in the garage. It's like, pick a sport, being on the bench. That's cool. You want to hear what's going on, whether it's a baseball or football pick a sport. And I think now we're able to host our fans. We have what are called Papaya Club members, which are kind of our biggest fans, and we can bring them into the garage, sit in driver debriefs. So I think you're exactly right. We're always going to be racing at racetracks, but this is going to help us bring the experience, because we have hundreds of millions of people that follow Formula One, and we can't fit them all in our garage. But, you know, as technology and everyone gets accustomed to this new world, really being able to bring people on the inside of our garage, listening to our driver debriefs, and having a two-way relationship where, you know, sports has historically been transmitted via TV and you watch, and it's kind of a one-way transmission. Now the fans can talk to us, and I think that's what's going to just continue to develop.
So from broadcast, it's going to get much more interactive in the way that people engage and interact. That is fascinating, actually. Well, Zach, I just want to say we are thrilled to have the honor to support you through such an important mission. And I know that you are a pretty demanding customer from the performance that the system needs, and every millisecond counts, and your value system is very aligned to ours, and you really care about making sure that you're striving for excellence and you're never satisfied and you keep going. So we are, you know, it's a very important relationship. The team is excited to work with your team. There's a great, chemistry over there, and we're just getting started. So the kind of things that hopefully we'll be able to make sure that the experience for your fans gets more and more immersive in all different aspects of your business. And so thank you again for everything that you do for us. And thank you for not just the partnership, but being a great customer who is constantly pushing our product to the limits.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. We love it, and can't wait to keep doing what we're doing together.
Likewise. Thanks again. Appreciate
Cheers.
you joining us.
McLaren has a lot to build upon.
The team is looking for every possible advantage.
They're betting on a new key partner to help them get there.
Who's got the best fans? Let's put up a poll. Come on, England. Look who's got the best fans.
Yes!
Race fans, let's talk racing. Great job by the entire team. Great job by the pit crew. Great strategy. 加油!
We need that part.
It's nearly done.
Can you repeat that? That's better.
It's done.
With Webex, the McLaren Formula One team is collaborating like never before. Introducing the Webex Suite, driving hybrid work.
Hello, everyone. I have two very special guests with me. Fran, who you saw earlier today, who's our Chief People Officer, and Arianna Huffington, who needs no introduction at all, and is the CEO of Thrive Global. So, Arianna, let me start with you. Why are we here together today? What are we going to be talking about?
Well, Jitu and Fran, I'm very excited to be with you to talk about our partnership around how to make hybrid work better. Because we all agree that hybrid work is here to stay. In fact, Cisco has just brought out a great study that shows while in the past only 8% of meetings included people who were not physically in the meeting, that number is going to increase to 98% in our post-pandemic world. So during that time, we believe it's imperative to change the energy of meetings and to be able to reduce the stress of back-to-back meetings by bringing to all Webex users what Thrive has built, which we call Thrive Reset. Thrive Reset is based on the science that shows that it takes 60 to 90 seconds to course correct from stress. That while stress is unavoidable during the day, cumulative stress is avoidable. And simply by having these 60-second breaks in between meetings or during the meeting truly changes our ability to engage, to focus, to be productive. And the 60-second resets can be any number of things. Focus on our breathing, focus on what we're grateful for, standing up and stretching, helping us reframe our problems, but also we will be able to build our own resets. 60 seconds of the things we love, our children, our pets, our favorite quotes, favorite music, and then play them not just for ourselves, but play them within the meeting to bring more intimacy and more empathy among the participants.
Thrive has always been a couple steps ahead as it relates to well-being and mental health and how we think about the whole person. This is something from a Cisco perspective that means a lot to us. We believe that we have a people-first culture. And so I think this partnership is incredibly powerful. And maybe something that would be nice to hear is all of the things that you're thinking about right now, Arianna, from a Thrive perspective.
One of the reasons we love partnering with you is because we are so aligned in terms of values. The way, for example, you have prioritized empathy shows your thought leadership in this arena, because truly, as we are talking about inclusive and diverse cultures, we know that this is impossible to achieve without building empathetic cultures and recognizing that empathy is a skill. We may not be born with it, but we can build it. And having a culture, as you have at Cisco, that gives people cultural permission to nurture their empathy, which frankly is impossible if we're exhausted, burned out, and running on empty. And we see an opportunity by building resets and the leadership journeys and the other things we are planning to do together, not just to help everyone within Cisco, but provide an example for other companies, as everybody now is working to redefine productivity in a post-pandemic hybrid world. And the other thing that I love is that here we are using technology to augment our humanity. Sometimes technology becomes our master and dominates everything, but we have an opportunity to use technology to actually tap into our most human qualities. And this is what we aim to do with Reset.
And I love what you've said, Arianna, about the fact that gratitude and anxiety don't stay together. One always supersedes the other. And if you were to choose, let's have gratitude choose to supersede anxiety. And so that's, exactly. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Well, the truth is that every life includes both things we're grateful for and things we're anxious about. So anytime we choose to remind ourselves of what we're grateful for, we reduce our anxiety. Literally, gratitude and anxiety cannot coexist. And that's based on the latest science. I love stressing that because we need to redefine well-being and make it rigorous and data-driven and not a warm and fuzzy benefit, but truly a company strategy.
So, Tutu, I have a question for you. What's going to be a part of your reset?
I have an amazing 10-year-old daughter. We share a wall. She's on the other side of the wall of my office during COVID. She has permission to come in and crash any meeting at any time, and it always puts a smile on my face, and it's a great icebreaker for people, but not always. As she's getting older, does she come into these meetings? She stays by herself because she wants to do her own thing. And so pictures of her and videos of her that I can see before I go into a meeting just put a smile on my face.
In my personal reset, one of the quotes I use is by Rumi, who said, live life as though everything is rigged in your favor. And I love that because when something goes wrong during my day, I can remember that and realize that we don't really know how things turn out after something that we consider bad or terrible has happened.
Arianna, do you find it so fascinating that the workplace could be where we form community, where we take a moment to think about who we are and what brings us to center. I find it fascinating that it's the workplace that could help us get there. And for many of the companies that are listening, this is an element of how companies can also be differentiated, right?
Absolutely. I love that. In fact, when I founded ThriveRun, I decided not to go directly to consumers, but work through the enterprise specifically for that reason, because I believe that the workplace can be such a community, and we need a community to be able to adopt healthier habits. Adopting healthier habits is not easy. That's why we want to break it down to short 60-second resets and also sharing them with others.
Now, Arianna, one of the things that you've talked about a lot is knowledge workers, but I know that the way that you're thinking about this is resets are not just for knowledge workers. In fact, they apply a lot to frontline workers and field workers. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
The most important thing about contact centers is the experience of the customer calling in. How can they have a delightful experience? Well, we know for sure that they can't have a delightful experience if the agent is stressed out. Feeding them these resets to remind them to take conscious breaths, remind them of what they're grateful for, asking them to stand up and stretch, all for 60 seconds, especially in between difficult calls, is game-changing.
My very first job was a contact center agent at Cisco. And to Arianna's point, it can be stressful. You are on the phone. You see that there are additional calls waiting. You may be on a call with someone who isn't happy with something. And before you even have a moment to breathe, you have to answer that next call. And what you would see, and I remember in the center, seeing my peers having a rough call and then feeling like that would follow you for the rest of the day. And so this concept of a short break to just center, I think is going to be so powerful. I wish we had it when I was in the contact center. I think it'll be a huge help.
And it's so important for a brand to make sure that when a customer interacts with your brand, that they have a delightful experience, especially when a customer is frustrated when they call in. That's an opportunity to turn it around. So this is so important and strategic for companies. So thank you again, Arianna, for that thought leadership on that dimension. Well, with that, Fran and Arianna, I could keep talking to you for hours and hours, but thank you so much for taking the time. And Arianna, thank you for being our special guest of honor. And we are so looking forward to partnering with you as we move forward.
Thank you so much, Jitu and Fran. All of us at Thrive are really excited about this partnership. Thank you.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that. We covered a lot of ground today. You heard from our executives. You heard about all the product innovation that we've been busy doing. You heard from our customers, and you heard from some thought leaders in the industry. And we really look forward to working with you and helping you transform in this journey towards hybrid work. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
In 2004, my younger sister Kelly passed away unexpectedly. Obviously, it was a very difficult time for me and my family, but we came together. We realized we wanted to give back. I think what makes me want to take action is a big part of my upbringing. I think a lot of that comes from being a first responder family, and when others are running out to safety, my family was always running in. In 2011, St. Baldrick's found me. The St. Baldrick's Foundation started with a bunch of first responders, and it kind of became a challenge between them, and it was if you raise X amount, you'll shave your head and you'll go bald. And now they're the second largest private funder of children's cancer research in the United States. It pulls at your heartstrings and it gives us purpose. I would love Cisco employees to join me. I would love to have more bald heads on campus and on our Webex calls. My sister, I think she's proud. I think she's up in the stars and smiling down and just proud as heck that we've all kind of come together, and this is her legacy.
Between a family's loss and the fight for a cure, there's Casey Szymanski.
If we're to